So we will do today some like setup for running our first app. So it will be the setup for the emulator and also the setup for like a real device. So yeah, the last person, hopefully. So I will start with the creation of the new project as usual. I will share the screen. And I will create a new project. It doesn't really matter which option you will choose. I will choose the empty activity, for example. Here, I will choose some name. So it will be Academy Lesson 3, for example. You already know these fields, but I think you didn't heard about the language option first. So there are like two options for Java and Kotlin. Our whole course will be in Kotlin, so this will be by default Kotlin all the time. But the important field here for this course is the minimum SDK. So that means from which operation system version will be your application supported. For example, here you can see if I will choose AppPort 23, Android 6.0, it will be supported for approximately 84%, 85% of devices. So I will let this one and click finish. And we have to wait for the loading. So meanwhile, I can open the Android Virtual Devices Manager, this icon. So we can create our own emulator. You can see I already have like many emulators, but for the case of the example, I will here down create the new virtual device. You can see there are several options, categories for TV, the watches, tablet, automotive. We will go for the phone. It doesn't really matter which options you will choose here. This can be beneficial if you want to test for multiple resolutions or ratios, so you can see if your layout is, for example, well created, so it seems on different devices similar or same. On the next screen, you can see what will be the operation system on your emulator. So this is important because you, when you are creating the new project, you were selecting the lowest SDK. So if you remember, for my case, it was 23. So if I would choose the Lollipop 22, it wouldn't be supported for my project. So it is important to choose some higher operation system. You will also have to download probably one. So I will choose the Oreo, which I have already downloaded. Here you can choose some names, so it can be different, because if I would choose this one, probably I don't have any like that, but it can be better. So here is also one quite nice feature which I like, which is here the device frame. So that means like if you disable this one, you can see just the display and nothing else, like no frame, which could seem like real device, but in case for some videos and stuff, I like it better. Also, you can choose the orientation different and some other stuff. So I will finish this process. And you can see I have here the new testing device, which I can start here, launch or edit, or there are some extra options which you could use if you had some issues with the emulator. So for example, you can try to wipe data to have fresh new emulator without any applications previously installed or with some cached data. So if you have some issues, you can try this one. Or also you can, if you have it opened and it causes you some issues, you can also try to stop from here, because it's somehow, sometimes it makes some problems to open it, to close it, like from the emulator itself. So I can start the emulator right now. And you can see I disabled the frame, so I can really see just the display. So let's wait a while to load it. So now we can, you could also ask, like if you have the Android device, your Android device, how you could install the app directly to your device. I will also show the setup here on Emulator, so it is more easy. If you want to install the app on your device, you have to do some setup in settings first. So you would have to go to the settings on your device, and then you have to find the system, and then you have to go to this about device, and here you can see the build number. So if you will click, I think like 10 times on the build number, you can see you are closing to be a developer. And then if you are a developer and go back from this section, you can see here the developer options appeared. So you then have to go inside and go for the debugging option, and this have to be enabled, so you can actually install something through the USB. Of course, there are some other quite beneficial features, I would say. So some of what I like, yeah, for example, this input. So if you enable tabs, then if you make some videos, for example, or something, it is always visible, like where you are tapping. Or, for example, this drawing option, you can play with the animations, so you can like make them faster or slower, or you can also like disable them. So this probably will be quite beneficial in some other lessons, because if we will play with, for example, the UI tests, then the animations in UI tests can cause some issues. Yeah, that's probably. You can also, of course, you can go through these and play with them. Maybe I can also show one like funny thing, which is always different for every version for Android. And that is like a kind of hidden Easter egg for each version. It works a bit similar, like clicking like crazy, but not on the build number, but on the Android version. So if I would click on the Android version, it always shows some like kind of game or something interesting. So in this case, I think it's if I would click fast and then long, yeah, it will show me this octopus. So you can all try and find out what you have. So now you should be all able to run the app either on real device or the emulator. Every case, if you would create the device or connect it, you should see it here as an option. Of course, I can also pick some of previously created emulators, but I will choose this one, which is already running, and I can run it. Here on the bottom, you can see the process. So in that case, it should be quite fast, as there is almost nothing. And here we are. So this is our simple Hello World app. And that is all from my side today. So if you have any questions for that or any issues with running that, now is the time to ask.